In 1921, there was a place in America where black doctors treated black lawyers, who banked with black financiers, who financed black architects building mansions on streets paved with black money. It was called Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Its median income was astronomical. Then white mobs descended, and in less than 24 hours, they burned it to the ground. Why? Because the wealth was too visible. For generations, the American dream for black people was a perverse geometry. To succeed, you had to be excellent, but to survive, you had to be invisible. Every time concentrated black wealth rose to the surface, whether in Tulsa, Rosewood, or countless other neighborhoods, it became a target. Today, black wealth is rising again, fueled by entrepreneurship, specialized education, and strategic relocation. But this time, it's different. It is quieter, more geographically diverse, and crucially, it is concentrated in powerful enclaves. We aren't just talking about a few millionaires in a large city. We're talking about communities where the median black income rivals or exceeds the national average for all households. These are places where the legacy of Jim Crow had been defied and the invisible ceiling has been cracked. This is the history of wealth, real estate, and power. This is the story of America's top 10 richest black neighborhoods. Before we dive into the countdown, we need to understand the new landscape. The rise of these affluent black communities is not random. It's a direct function of the Great Migration Reversal and the policy magnet. The DMV area, the Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia metropolitan region is the undisputed capital of black affluence. Why? The policy magnet. The stability of high-level government, contractor, and non-profit jobs created a massive, steady employment base for black college graduates starting in the late 20th century. Federal job security and pensions are foundational wealth-building tools that bypassed many of the predatory lending and private sector hiring biases of the past. The second hub is Texas, primarily the Dallas-Fort Worth and Houston areas. This is driven by low cost of living, high growth industries, energy, tech, healthcare, and a strategic decision by many black professionals to leave expensive coastal cities. This is wealth built through entrepreneurship and career mobility. Finally, we have Southern California, representing the legacy wealth built in entertainment, real estate, and specialized professional services, primarily centered around Los Angeles. Now, let's start the countdown, starting with the neighborhoods that often define this new stability. At number 10, Richmond, Texas, with zip code 77407, MHI $105,000. The context? Part of the massive Houston Sugarland Baytown metro area. Richmond represents the entrepreneurial spirit of Texas. This community is a masterclass in using geographic mobility to build wealth. Many residents are engineers, business owners, and healthcare professionals who leverage Texas's lack of state income tax and affordable housing to jumpstart their generational wealth journey. At number 9, Cedar Hill, Texas, with zip code 75104, MHI $110,000. The context? Located just southwest of Dallas, Cedar Hills illustrates the exurb strategy. Affluent black families, tired of the high costs and sometimes lower performing schools of the inner city, made a collective move here, creating high-achieving school districts and thriving local economies that reflect their values and investment. At number 8, Ladera Heights, California. MHI $125,000. The context? Nestled between Culver City and Inglewood. This is one of the foundational older Black affluent communities in Los Angeles. Unlike the new wealth of the DMV, Ladera Heights often represents legacy wealth built through decades of success in entertainment, medicine, and high-end law. It is a quiet, hilly enclave whose residents include classic Hollywood figures and seasoned professionals. At number 7, Bowie, Maryland. MHI $135,000. The context: located in Prince George's County, Bowie is a massive, sprawling city that has successfully attracted the federal government and contracting class. It is a perfect case study of how governmental stability translates directly into community wealth. The presence of numerous historically Black colleges and universities nearby, HBCUs, also contributes a pipeline of highly educated professionals. At number 6, Stone Mountain and Lithonia area, Georgia. MHI $140,000 plus. Varies by specific subdivisions. While Atlanta, ATL, is famous for having the highest number of Black millionaires, these specific eastern suburbs represent the highest concentration of Black family wealth. This area is characterized by large, new construction homes, high home ownership rates, and a density of Black-owned small and medium-sized businesses that service the community itself. A true internal economic ecosystem. As we move into the top 5, one geographic area dominates: Prince George's County, Maryland. This isn't an accident, it is a calculated, decades-long outcome of the civil rights movement, meeting the mid-century government boom. When white professionals began the post-war exodus to the suburbs, leaving inner-city DC, Black professionals who had earned advanced degrees from places like Howard and were locked out of white suburbs due to discriminatory housing policies sought refuge and stability in PG County. When the Fair Housing Act finally opened the doors, they didn't just move, they invested. They used their federal jobs, their union protection, and their military service pensions to secure mortgages. This created a massive self-sustaining gravitational pull for subsequent generations of Black professionals who prioritized community, excellent schools, and a powerful Black professional network. The richest Black neighborhoods are statistically the neighborhoods that successfully and deliberately converted federal employment stability into intergenerational real estate equity, the pinnacle of Black affluence. These communities represent not just high income, but generational wealth, influence, and investment. At number 5, Kettering, Maryland. PG County. MHI $145,000. Key insight: Kettering is a prime example of the PG County success story. Its wealth is characterized by a high concentration of executives, senior government officials, and high-earning service sector professionals who work the corridors of power in DC. It's an affluent lifestyle built on stability and proximity to power. At number 4, Mitchellville, Maryland, PG County. MHI $150,000. Key insight: Mitchellville takes the Kettering model and pushes it further. It is a community of large modern homes reflecting substantial disposable income. Here, the challenge of building wealth is not about income generation, but about transitioning that income into capital that can withstand economic shocks, a challenge every one of these communities faces. At number 3, Fort Washington, Maryland, PG County, MHI $165,000. Located directly on the Potomac River, Fort Washington offers spectacular homes and serves as a financial powerhouse. Its residents often include political consultants, established physicians, and successful entrepreneurs. It's where the DC political and financial elite goes to live large, away from the city proper. At number 2, Baldwin Hills, Ladera Heights, zip code 90043 or 90056, California. MHI $180,000 plus. We group these adjacent LA communities because they form a seamless historical enclave, often called the Black Beverly Hills. Their wealth is magnified by the California real estate effect. These communities were settled in the mid-20th century by professionals and entertainers, and the incredible appreciation of California real estate has turned high income into multi-million-dollar property equity. This is concentrated wealth, protected by geography and legacy. And finally, the neighborhood that currently tops nearly every list of concentrated Black affluence, representing a new kind of power, Potomac, Maryland, MHI $200,000 plus. It varies by specific zip code. While the Black population percentage here is lower than in PG County neighborhoods, closer to 15 to 20%, the sheer median household income of Black residents here is staggering, often surpassing $200,000. Potomac is the definition of elite mobility. It's where the most successful Black executives, surgeons, tech leaders, and entrepreneurs choose to settle, often moving into one of the most expensive areas in the nation, alongside other multi-millionaires, regardless of race. It signifies economic achievement that has transcended racial geographic barriers entirely. These neighborhoods are more than just statistics. They are policy victories and acts of collective defiance. They prove that when the systemic obstacles of redlining, job discrimination, and educational inequity are even partially removed, Black Americans build wealth rapidly. But the existence of these 10 neighborhoods reveals the single greatest challenge to Black America. The wealth gap is a capital gap. The median household income in these top communities is incredible, yet the overall median wealth for Black households nationally remains a fraction of white households. The legacy of slavery, Jim Crow, and predatory financial practices created a multi-trillion-dollar hole in Black net worth. These affluent enclaves are powerful exceptions. They are islands of prosperity. The final and most complex phase of the journey is not just creating more of these successful islands, but using their political and financial capital to fundamentally change the economic trajectory for the 40 million Black Americans who still face the invisible ceiling every single day. The question is no longer, can Black people build wealth? We have the answer, yes, spectacularly. The question now is, how will this concentrated wealth be leveraged to dismantle the systemic structures that made these islands necessary in the first place?